Stated, everybody strapped in. We're gonna watch this video. I don't know how good it will be, but we're gonna watch it anyway. I don't know what it's about. Well, I know sort of what it's about, but I haven't really...
Is it just me, or does it feel like the internet is just getting angrier and angrier all the time?
Yes.
I feel like I can't even interact with the internet the way I used to because it just makes me so anxious all the time now. Everywhere I look, everyone's just fighting with each other. Everyone's attacking one another. You go to a TikTok video and people are all like, oh, why'd you do stuff this way? Why did you do it that way? Why are you even filming this? What's going on? Like, it just feels like the fun of everything.
I like that there's a smiley. He's talking about how people are angry and there's a smiley on the tree. I don't know if that's intentional, but it's kind of good, actually.
Is kind of going away.
He's really right, though, about everything he's saying.
Maybe that's just endemic of, like, the bubbles that I'm in. Maybe it's just endemic of the stuff that gets served to me. But algorithmically driven content just kind of drives everybody to anger all the time.
Yeah.
Because it's so much easier to be angry about stuff and hate each other than it is to do anything decent anymore. And maybe it's always been like that, but now is just the only time that I've started to see it. And maybe that's just...
Has it always been like that? I think he is right that the internet definitely has made people... I wouldn't say angrier, but more brave to say things that they wouldn't have said previously because they can hide behind anonymity, right? And so they're easier. A lot of people have it easier to attack others because they can hide who they are and they have virtually no consequences, which again causes other people to get angry, and yeah, which does feed the anger machine, right? So yeah, he's right.
Me and my timelines and my algorithms and the things that I see from my perspective, but it just kind of seems like anywhere I turn on the internet now, if I spend any length of time on it, it just all seems so negative. It's just people throwing rocks at each other all the time. The internet was supposed to bring people together and do amazing things and connect the world, but all it's done is seem to...
I mean, it has done that too, though. Like, it has connected people and caused amazing thing to happen. It's just... the negative things tend to get so much more... I wouldn't say publicity. Notoriety, I guess, is better of a word. Because they're bad things, right? So notoriety. Than the good things that happen. Like, they just kind of get overshadowed by the bad things. Because so many more people will interact with the bad things, either being vehemently against it or angrily for it, right?
Highlight the problems more. You would think having so many people from so many diverse different backgrounds and cultures that would be able to all learn from each other, but it seems like people just double down and sit inside their bubbles and throw stones from there.
Because it's safer.
But that's not even mentioning how much violence and war is going on right now. That seems to just...
I mean, if you look throughout human history, there's been war all the time. There's always at least like one... If you look at human history, there's always at least like 1 or 2 wars being fought at any point, anywhere on the planet. I think that's right. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. But... dude, there's a lot of war, and there has been war for so long. The history of humanity is a history of war, funnily enough. Like, I guess sadly enough.
Entrench people more in their beliefs instead of reaching out and having a heart and being...
And so many wars have been fought over
open to things.
Religion.
A lot of people have been, and that's great to see, but by and large, these things just keep happening over and over again.
Yeah.
And that's not even mentioning
Human nature.
like politics making people so angry and entrenching them into their own beliefs further as well, and just picking sides and attacking each other all the time. It's really difficult for anybody to go onto the internet these days and just exist without being dragged into something that's going on. And
I will say, I have managed this for so long. I've been on the internet so many times. I have still not been a part of any drama at all. If there has been drama in places that I have been active, like social places, I have always somehow either not been active at that time, or I have left that place by my own volition for other reasons prior to said drama. So I guess I've just been lucky like that. And I've never really experienced any personal
I think
drama.
the common denominator between all of these...
Okay, fine. That's not exactly true. We did have like one tiny little drama thing in the friend group like a month ago or something, but that got quickly fixed. We just had to talk about it and we fixed it, right?
Is people. And as generic as that sounds, that really is the humanity of it all. The lack of humanity in regards to some of it. And I think the most important thing to a lot of people, especially me, and especially the things that I've heard from my audience over the years, is mental health. And anybody that's watched me for any length of time knows just how important mental health is to me, because I've gone through my own...
We talked about men's mental health earlier, and mental health is really important to me as well. You know, because I struggle with myself. I have dysthymia. It's probably always going to be a constant companion for me, which is not a thing I like, but it's probably true.
Struggles with mental health over the years, and still struggle with my mental health all the time. I don't think it's something that you ever figure out and you ever get on top of, but
Nope.
You can definitely get better tools, get better help. And that's
100%.
I've been reaching out and getting help from a therapist for like 2 years now. I'm on medications for depression and anxiety.
I'm not on medication because I don't want to take them.
So when people say that they're struggling and stuff helps them get through a hard time, I'm there with you. I know exactly what it takes, and I know how strong you need to be able to get over any of those obstacles. And I'm always trying to find ways to help, to progress things, to open up the conversation, to try and add funds to places that can help out, and trying to talk to the community all the time about mental health and making sure that it's not something that kind of falls to the side. And I've done it my entire career, which is why this year for Thankmas, I've decided to partner with Crisis Text Line and Samaritans, who are two wonderful organizations that deal with people in times of crises and mental health struggles to try and get them through tough times. In 2023, Samaritans and Crisis Text Line volunteers spent more than 1.4 million hours answering calls and texts for help. Samaritans answers a call for help every 10 seconds, and since its launch, Crisis Text Line has supported over 10 million conversations in the United States, more than 3,500 daily. I think we all kind of like know in the back of our heads that people are suffering and people are going through this stuff, but I feel like it's time to bring it to the forefront, to actually verbalize it, to talk about it.
That's what I've been saying for a while and for so long as well. We need to normalize talking about mental health. Because there's still this taboo, especially on social media and in the content creator scene, that, oh, you shouldn't talk about negative things. You shouldn't talk about mental health or depression. You should paint this rose-colored picture of your life. Because people don't want to see sad things. They don't want to hear about sad things. They only want happy things. Which isn't a help for anyone, right? Like no one benefits from just having happiness and good things shoved into their throats, their ears, their brains. You know, Bob Ross, and I'm going to bring up Bob Ross because Bob Ross is amazing. Bob Ross said, you need to have bad times to know when the good times are coming, right? Which is such a good saying. Like, if you're happy all the time, you don't know what sadness is. And when sadness first hits you, it will hit you like a truck. You will be isekai'd into whatever world just from sadness alone. I'm making a light out of it, but it is a pretty heavy topic. We need to normalize talking about this shit because it's important, especially for men. Men especially needs to normalize talking about their mental health. It's so important.
About it, to confront it, and try and help however we can. According to the CDC, suicide is a leading cause of death in the US and affects people of all ages.
Yes.
Suicide was responsible for 1 death every 11 minutes in 2022 in the US. And it's not just in America either.
Everywhere.
Every 90 minutes, someone in the UK or Ireland takes their own life as well. That alone is the biggest killer of young people under 25 and middle-aged men. According to the World Health Organization, more than 1 billion...
He said middle-aged men. Men die more from suicide than anything else. And if you ever ask yourself, are men okay? The answer is no. We're not.
People are living with mental health challenges of all varying degrees. That's like 1/8 of the planet.
Yep.
According to the notes that I have here, in 2023, the US Surgeon General declared a national loneliness and social isolation epidemic throughout the country. And that's just in America. I'm sure that it's being felt
It's worldwide. Everywhere.
About half of US adults are
well, when I say everywhere, everywhere in the first world, right? In third world countries, they don't really have the luxury of having a loneliness epidemic because they live in very different lives, right? They're all basically farmers,
experiencing considerable levels of loneliness.
which is not true.
And
but,
unfortunately, with that loneliness comes darker thoughts.
Yep.
And depression. And being isolated from people is just not healthy for our brains. We're creatures that are designed to go out and interact with other people. And
most
when
of us
our only
are.
means of doing that sometimes is through the internet, it can be really bad. I've lived quite a huge amount of my career just being online. And I can tell you that it's made me angrier and sadder and made me feel even more alone than if I were out interacting with people. And that's not always easy, but it's something that I feel like we need to talk about and open up the discussion to and help people who can't help themselves.
Dude, he's so right. He's so right. Like, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely, right? If you're alone, that can just mean you're by yourself, right? You're alone. But being lonely is the worst. Like, I am very lonely. Even though I have people to talk to all the time, I'm not alone, but I'm lonely, right? And I struggle so much thinking about my future because deep down I don't really think I have a future. I think that I'm kind of stuck in a place that I can't get out of. I have dysthymia, I have ADHD, I have social anxiety, and I'm an introvert. That's like 4 things that together just cripples me in almost everything I do. And the only real job I can get is, or the only real thing I can do with my life is create content and try to help other people by just bringing a smile to their face and during a day. Like, if I've made one person smile on a single day, that's a win. That's all I want. That's all I care about. And so many times, and I know this isn't the point of the video. The point of the video is completely different. But there's so many times during the week, during a day, where I just think to myself, am I wasting my time? Am I am I doing anything worthwhile, fruitful with my life? And I don't know, most of the days I push off the thoughts, but sometimes it's hard, you know, to look back on a 9-year content creation career and having very little to show for it. Like, I have barely grown in 9 years, which is really discouraging to think about. Anyway, that was a huge digression, and I'm sorry.
The point of this video that I'm trying to make is that community is key to all of this. Community and the humanity behind it, because as easy as it is to drum up hate and drum up negativity together, it's also quite possible to do amazing things together, as we have proven with Thankmas countless times at this point. It's probably not countless. We can count how many times we've done Thankmas. To date, Thankmas has raised $26 million.
That's insane.
Over all the Thankmases we've done. And that's
insane.
Only possible by community coming together. 2 years ago, we raised $10 million. Last year, we raised $6 million. And this year, we're hoping to try and raise $6 million again. I know that's a huge amount of money to try and raise, but Thankmas has been capable in the past. We're going to try again. With the money that we're raising this year, we're helping to train 9,000 new volunteers across both organizations. They can invest in hardware and software to help expand and enhance the digital reach of these programs, since reaching people online, chat and text is paramount. A lot of people sometimes don't even want to call in. A text is all they can do. So helping build out the infrastructures for those
sometimes the text is all you
really
can do.
Important. Doing something like this also helps an incredible amount of awareness every time. That's sort of the hidden metric that never gets talked about with Thankmas, is that not only are we raising money that can go into these organizations, but the awareness that we're helping raise as well is
awareness
huge,
is also
more
huge.
People get involved, more organizations get to know, and it kind of persists throughout the next few years. And with this awareness and this help, we can help up to 2 million new people. 2 million new people, not even the people that they're helping already. 2 million new people will be able to get help each year with this money raised. So like last year, we're doing Thankmas live again. We're going to be in the Orpheum Theatre again, same place as last year. We're selling even more tickets this time. Last year we sold just half the theater twice, so this time we're doing the entire theater. Tickets are going to be for sale now. All of the information is going to be in the description.
Buy it.
December 6th.
Don't buy it if you can't
this
go.
year, that's when the event is going to be happening.
I don't know where this theater is, but I assume it's in.
You can still watch it. You can still help out, and I think
in the
it's
States
going to be
somewhere.
an incredible event. Last year was amazing, being able to do it in person. I can't believe how well all of that went, considering all the moving parts that were in it. But I'm really excited to do it again this year in person and just embrace the community. Seeing people come together in a room, not like that, chanting together, raising awareness together, yelling, screaming, being positive and doing something, and putting our stamp on that day, I think is huge. So tickets are for sale now. Go get them. I'm excited. I think
I'm not
going
to
get people come together
tickets,
and talk about mental health will create,
because I live in Norway
openness
and I have no money,
that will allow people to be able to open up more. And let's face it, losing up to 700,000 people each year is just completely unacceptable. If it's something that we can help with, if it's something that we can drive our community and our positivity towards to try and make a difference. So please tune in for Thankmas this year, December 6th. It's still a little bit away, but that's why I'm announcing it soon, so we can keep selling tickets. Go get your tickets now. I would love to see you guys in person. The energy last year was electric, and it's going to be really fun. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you there.
Nice. I'm gonna like the video. We're gonna post the video in chat if you guys want to go watch it, and give that a like as well. That was a good video. I thought it was gonna be less promote-y from the title, but it makes sense with what he talked about in the first half of the video. It was a good video. And again, what he's talking about is all true. Like we need to normalize talking about mental health, especially for men, seeing as the leading cause of death for men, middle-aged men, is in fact suicide, and it's horrible.